Hello, South Florida. Welcome to all of our listeners here on the Real Estate Show and to all of our real estate fans all around the world. That's right, all around the world. This little AM show, 5 days a week, every day, live at 5 p.m. That's Eastern Time. And available 5 different ways, 5 different channels that you can find us on the AM 1470, on the FM 96.9, 95.3, on the apps that you can download for free onto your smart device, your portable device. Take us with you on the go. All you have to do is download one of those, the TuneIn app, the radio.com app, the iHeartRadio app, even WWNN, if you search for it in your store, has an app that you can listen to and plug in directly to the radio station. Come here live at 5 and you can get to hear the Real Estate Show here at WWNN Money Talk Radio, part of the Money Talk network. You can also listen to our show the fourth way on our website. Just go to automaticlandlord.com. That's automaticlandlord.com. And you can just go to the top of the page there where it says The Real Estate Show. Click on the drop down where it says Listen Live there at 5, or anytime you want to listen to the archives of what we have. And we have a lot of archives there going back years and years. So we got a great show for you today. Imagine what it would be like if you were able to employ some of the techniques we've been talking about all week long. 10 ways to live for free, even in a single family home. And that's kind of a cool conversation that we've been having. We're talking about house hacking in this day and age, which is really a very cool item. We've gone through this incredible transformation during the COVID-19 pandemic, and between the real estate markets ups and downs and trials and tribulations and everything that's gone on, we've got this society now which is much more wide open to remote working. So being able to live and work at home, we've discovered different valuable aspects to our house. It's not just the house itself, but parts of the house. We talked about renting out driveways, talking about renting out pool and swimming areas during the pandemic. We talk about the Airbnb usage of a room, apartment, a section, or the entire house for certain periods of times. I was looking at an article, and it was kind of a cool article. If you want a copy of this article, all you have to do is text me at 561-861-2366. Once again, that's 561. Plug this into your phone. Keep it. This number never changes. What changes is what I offer and provide. But 561 is the area code. 861 is the number. 2366. Right now, I'm going to enclose this article with everyone who signed up for the VIP to learn more. And I'm going to talk about, because the VIP is the ultimate house hacking process. And some of it's done with you, some of it's done for you. And imagine that, if someone would help you to house hack your house. And that could be from coming up with the down payment if you don't have one, adding to your down payment if you have a little one, or adding income or payments so that your payment could be subsidized, if not 100% paid for. So there was an article that I have here that I can share with you from sparkrental.com. And it talks about this guy who lives for free, right? And he goes, I live for free. Before that, I only paid around 30% of my mortgage payment. How? By finding ways to have other people pay my housing costs. And you got to love that, that is, it's being ingenious. It's called house hacking. And there are many ways to achieve it. Not all of them require you to move either. Here's everything you need to know about the house hacking so you can reduce your housing payment to an unpleasant memory. And that's kind of cool. So if you're here just for the house hacking calculator, this article has a link to a house hacking calculator. So remember, text VIP to 561-861-2366. I'm going to send this article out after the show. He goes on to put up the question is, why house hack beyond living for free? And he goes, now that I'm finished talking up how awesome it is to live for free, it's time to put a little bit of a little bit of icing on the cake for a second, because house hacking is about more than just rent-free living. First of all, house hacking lets you get started in real estate investing with very little money down. Big bonus. I like that. It also, that's not the number. Let's see here. You can, an owner occupied financing means low interest rates and low down payments. So house hacking lets you get started in real estate investing because you could be buying a house to live for yourself, that you qualify for owner occupied financing and have these add-ons that pay for it. And the lowest rates in the marketplace today are for owner occupied properties or homes. Later on, we'll review financing options for house hacking, but most of them involve down payments in the 3 to 5% range. 3% is roughly the same equivalent as first, last, and security that you pay for a rental property. Now, we talked about last week when in our conversation about equity, the huge, enormous difference that a homeowner who put 3% down realized, gained, and got to keep versus zero equity gained by a person renting with the same outlay as a down payment, with the same outlay per month. In fact, nowadays we're even seeing lower outlays on a monthly basis for owners than for renters. And most renters right now are getting a rental increase in their monthly payment. But obviously with lower interest rates, your mortgage payments are going to be lower than your typical property loans, which in turn means better cash flow for you if you decide to change that property into a rental property as a landlord. And so here's maybe you know this, maybe you don't. But when you buy a property and do, in fact, take possession as an owner occupant, and you do, in fact, move in, put the utilities, everything in your name and everything, and after that, it doesn't matter. And I would say sort of the rule of thumb is 60 days later, which is not very long. But if 60 days later you decide to change your mind and then turn that property into a rental property, there is no rule and there's no foul, no harm. What the banks are really looking for, what was the intention? If you change your mind, you met somebody and move out and go somewhere else and rent out your house, you decide that you want to live somewhere else or upgrade or downgrade, all of these are valid reasons. As long as you didn't openly, commit a lie, then you are free to change your mind at any time. So circling back to the whole live for free thing, housing is most people's largest expense. And so here on the Real Estate Show, we're showing you how to reduce or eliminate your largest expense. And people routinely spend 25 to 50% of their income on housing expenses alone. And so by eliminating it, you basically boost your savings rate by 25 to 50%. That is what I would say pretty darn good. Awesome, if you'd say. And that, of course, makes it much easier to buy your next property and literally build a portfolio, a legacy, a huge amount of equity. And all I'm saying is that if you can get enough cash flowing property, positive cash flow properties, and do that. Remember my conversation a number of weeks back, for those of you who are regular listeners, when I talked about the sure path for a 22-year-old graduating from college. What is the sure path to become a financially independent millionaire? And it's this easy. And I gave the numbers and I laid it out. And that is, buy a house, don't rent when you graduate college. and every 5 years buy another house, and then move to that one, and then move to the next one, and then move to the next one. By the end of your 40-year, and it doesn't matter what your profession is, what you decide to do, follow your heart, follow your passion, do what you love to do. But if you, in whatever price category you happen to be, every 5 years you rent out your current house and move to another house and start the process over, you're going to have millions of dollars in equity, several million. You're going to have monthly income that will it'll 10x, if not more, what you would be retiring on if you're thinking about retiring on Social Security. And so you'll have assets, you'll have income, you'll have legacy, you'll have something to give to your next generation. And that is sort of the ultimate house hack. If you want to learn more about house hacking, if you want to get our latest brochure on house hacking, if you want to learn how to either get your first house or how to sell one of your other houses, text the letters VIP, our VIP house hacking program, 561-861-2366. You can do it right now. Text VIP to 561-861-2366. That's our regular, always the same text line for the Real Estate Show. All you have to do is text that. It'll automatically send you a response, get the information that it needs to send you the brochure. And you can have this article. You can have the house hacking calculator that I was just talking about. How about, in fact, when we come back from the break, I'm going to talk about multifamily house hacking options. Now, this is taking it to the next level. So don't touch that dial. You're listening to the Real Estate Show. My name is Eric Willner, having a load of fun here showing you about these little ins and outs of real estate. Don't go anywhere else. Stay right here. We'll be right back right after these words. Hey, Felipe. We had a nice conversation last night. That was a good mastermind call, wasn't it? Let me go ahead and put this in the background. Mario, how are you doing today? Susanna, welcome back as always. One of my favorite people. Simi, Erica, love of my life. How's everything going? Yeah, that's right. So I'm looking for an intern now. In fact, I'm going to read that out. If anybody knows an intern, either type it in here into the comments or send me a direct message, either on Facebook. That would be awesome. Ooh, son of a gun. Did I hit? Okay, yeah, I think I did. I'm not going to switch my screen because I did, or if I did, I did. If I didn't, I didn't. So check us out at facebook.com/The Real Estate Show and give us a thumbs up. This is the Real Estate All right, we're coming back. Happy birthday, Marianne, by the way. If you have any questions about the broadcast, this is the brochure, by the way. Hey, Robert. And welcome back. For those of you just joining us here on The Real Estate Show, my name is Eric Willner. I am the host here of The Real Estate Show, now celebrating its 22nd plus years of nonstop continuous broadcasting here. We've been sort of a lighthouse for real estate investors and even home buyers alike, and talking about all the topics about real estate. If it has to do with real estate, we probably have talked about it over the last 22 years. But this week, what we've been talking about all week long has been on the topic of house hacking. And if you missed any of the shows, Monday, Tuesday, and of course, the first half of today's show, you definitely want to go back to our website at automaticlandlord.com. At the top of the page there, which says The Real Estate Show, you can listen to our show live there. We stream it there live every day at 5 p.m. You can also look at our archives going back over a decade of recordings up there on the website. And if you think about that, with a daily show, 5 days a week, 20 days out of the month, over 20 years, so 240 times 20, we have already passed the 5,000 show mark, and substantially so. So I said before the break that I would talk about some multi-family house hacking options, and this is kind of cool too. If you kind of bought the concept of hacking your way in through down payment assistance programs to get into a property, and using some of the best low down payment financing, think about that. If you put virtually nothing down and you had somebody who is co-renting or renting from you, and they put down first, last, and security, you're actually making money, not paying money to get into a house, which is another interesting thought. But now that you're on board with the why of house hacking, let's dive into the how, shall we? Multifamily properties are not only a good option for available different strategies in house hacking, but they're incredibly effective. And here's the cool thing, especially when you stay within the 1 to 4 family multifamily, those are still considered by most of the lending agencies as residential properties. Once you get past 5 units, it's automatically commercial. So everything that I'm going to talk about right now is going to be really more adaptable. I'll tell you the difference between the two. But multifamily properties are not only an option available, but they're very, very effective in terms of now you're talking about not only subsidizing what you pay, but actually making money from where you live. And so let's kind of go into that, and let's stay within the realm of a single family house, or a duplex, or a triplex, or at most for now a fourplex. Still considered multifamily, multiple rents coming in. You occupy one of the 4 units, that's 3 rent payments coming in every single month. And imagine if you could house hack a single family house, which I already explained to you how to do. Now imagine if you did that and then you threw 3 more rents on top of that. So let's first talk about this. Number one, let's talk about multi-family house hacking with long-term renters. And it's the sort of the classic model for house hacking. You buy a multifamily property, you move into one of the units, you rent out the other ones, your neighboring tenants pay you rent every single month, and their rent covers your mortgage payment and then some. Properties with up to 4 units, as I mentioned, are still considered residential, so they qualify for the best rates because residential rates are typically more advantageous, lower than the commercial rates. So you can take out a traditional mortgage, just like anything else, but now it also, keep this in mind, it's easier to qualify because it's not just your income that they're going on in order to qualify that. So there's a case study that I could send you. If you get the other information, you'll have a link to that as well. But not only do the tenants' rent cover the entire mortgage payment in this case study, there's even money left over after each month to put towards repairs, to put towards a vacancy rate if one of those units becomes vacant, and other related expenses that it could occur. So you can do that with long-term rentals, in other words, annual rentals. You could also do multifamily, depending on where your location is, do it with vacation renters and get even higher per diem rent. In some markets, strong tourism, here where I live here in South Florida for sure, you could welcome short-term rental guests. And by the way, you don't have to do, it's not all or anything. You might have 2 long-terms and manage one as an Airbnb style short-term vacation rentals. And you don't have to worry about personality conflicts when it comes to short-term rentals. You don't have to worry about rent defaults because they all pay that up front before they even occupy. You don't have to worry about evictions because there's no evicting a vacation renter. You don't have to worry about pets because 9 out of 10 times vacation renters don't bring pets. You don't have to worry about poor maintenance. You don't have to worry about other people's lawn care or any of the other headaches that sometimes accompany long-term tenants who are supposed to do that themselves. Now, it's not that short-term rentals are not without their risks. It's a different set of risks, and it's a different set of tasks and work in order to get there. But if you're already living next door, and you're renting out one of the 2 or 3 units that exist, it becomes very easy, and it's easy to keep an eye out for them as well. But, if somebody wants to do bad, they can do bad. And unfortunately, every once in a while, in every bushel, there's a bad apple. The vacancy rates will fluctuate depending on A, your marketing, B, your area, and C, the time of the year. There's also that extra work, especially, on a vacation rental, because you're basically running a hotel. So there's more laundry, cleaning, answering questions from guests who have apparently never seen a washing machine before, or they're asking questions about the area and so forth. It's like I said, it's like running a hotel there. Your expenses are also a little bit high because now you're paying their utilities of that unit, because of course vacationers they're not around to put the bills in their names. So there's like a different set. That's something we can talk about a little bit more. Let's go back to the single family house hacking options for a second during the time we have left, because not everybody is willing to live in a multifamily scenario. I know some families don't want that scenario, but a lot of people don't want to move out of their current home either. So let me end the show with 4 ideas, which I think are kind of cool. Number one, the easy one, easy to figure out is a roommate or a housemate, if you will. A housemate could pay a good portion. I've seen it pay as much as 3/4 of somebody's mortgage payment. And while you may not know your housemate initially, it's kind of easier if you do, and you can start putting the word out amongst people that you know. We talked about this in another scenario. Who would be the ideal housemate to have? Would be a flight attendant who's always flying. Needs a place to rent to keep their stuff, but not necessarily be there a lot because they're usually flying. But think about sort of what your ideal roommate would be like, or some of the make or break it traits, i.e. smoker. Sorry to all you smokers out there, but you're not going to occupy, or I would never house hack with somebody who is a smoker. And I've heard on the other side some really good stories of housemates that became great friends, long-term friends, and eventually sometimes there even could become relationships from there. But that's another question that you're trying to figure out. Do you want a male, a female, et cetera, et cetera? And by the way, a lot of the equal housing rules don't exist for house sharing, i.e. house hacking. So there's, you have the ability to be more selective in that scenario, which is another plus that I didn't even think about putting on my list. But the truth is that, you want to vet them, especially if you're going to let them within the 4 walls of where you live as well. Carefully running tenant screening reports, just like anybody else. Asking dozens of questions about their personal habits and lifestyle habits, and it's healthy if they grill you back, because then you got your eye on somebody who's more serious. Some of the questions: when do you normally go to bed and when do you wake up? Sounds like an invasive question, but hey, if we're inside the same 4 walls, how often do you think the house should be cleaned? Interesting question. Which chores do you hate and which chores do you not mind? How often do you like to cook? What do you cook? What's your favorite food? There's some serious implications there. Do you have a significant other who's going to come and visit? How often do they sleep over? And is that okay? Do you like having friends back to the house, and do you throw parties and so forth? These are a good checklist of questions. Again, it's in the article, so you're welcome to have this article if you text the word VIP to 561-861-2366. You can now not only rent the access to the whole house, but you might invest a little bit of money, create either a second entrance or partition a part of the house. So you could have a common area, but private areas as well, doing that as well. So you could rent rooms on Airbnb, and they'll even do the marketing for you. You can rent out storage space. If you've got room in your house, but you don't want people, but you could rent storage space for valuable things that need climate control. And you can also rent out temporarily, not to vacationers, but to foreign exchange students. So that's just a partial list of what's in the article that I'll share with you. Again, if you want to get more information about our house hacking program, the VIP program, text VIP to 561-861-2366. Once again, that's VIP to 561-861-2366. All this is free information that I'm giving to you. And it's all you have to do is request it. Anyway, that's it for today's midweek report. We're going to be here tomorrow. We're going to start talking about some of the numbers on our ATM About the Money edition of the Real Estate Show. So stay tuned. Join us again each and every day, 5 days a week at 5 p.m. right here where you found us. So until then, this is your host, Eric Willner, signing off. Drive safe, wash those hands, and make it a great day. Bye-bye. That would be a wrap. Thanks for listening to The Real Estate Show, brought to you by Capital One Group LLC. You will. Thank you very much. At Capital One Group LLC are available to assist you with your financial. What do you guys think? Good stuff? How many of you would actually do it? Would actually do the house hacking? It's tougher if you have a family, if you have kids. I know Robert with brand new young children, that might not be your cup of tea, but you could actually help somebody else buy a multi-unit, make them a partner in the unit, so it's owner occupied, and then have an in-house hack together, since they don't know, but you do. Fun ideas. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts, what you guys think, whether you would do it in your current situation, or whether you would do it in an off-site property, or maybe not even at all. But I'll tell you this, that if you're a renter out there and you're already renting, I tell you that to employ any combination of the house hacking ideas that I gave could not only put you in a house, regardless of credit, regardless of income, regardless of down payment. And now you got to ask me how you do that. And again, get the report, get the article, get the brochure. Just text VIP to 561-861-2366. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It all happens automatically if you do this. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to wrap it up right here. It's time for my daily run and then dinner. So I'll see you all back here, same place, same time tomorrow. Bye-bye. Bing! Hello, kitten. Oh, I forgot to do my ad for my social media intern. Poop on a stick. Oh, I just realized something. We'll have to edit that out, won't we?